United USA 2020 and beyond. So, well, for every problem that's perceived as a nail, well, there's always a hammer. Why does Bill Gates have so much farmland? Says that he's the biggest owner of farmland in the United States. Well, this is interesting because this man has his hands in everything. And the fact that he has a lot of farmland, there's obviously other motives. Let's go ahead and get into it. Bill and Melinda Gates own a whopping 240,000 acres across 18 states in the U.S. Land is held by a company called Cascade Investment. It's a holding company the Gates family uses for a variety of different investments. Why, oh why, does this dude want to get into farming? Well, there's a lot of reasons. They're talking about impossible foods, like the impossible plant-based meat burger. It's not meat, but a plant-based burger that looks like meat. It's just stuff like, it's just weird, man. So anyway, they're saying 242,000 acres. Actually, he owns much more than that. Actually, Bill Gates owns a lot more than that. The 242,000 acres, actually in transitional land, he owns an additional 25,000 acres, and on top of that, recreational, another 1,000. When you add it up, 268,984 acres and acres. Crazy amount of acres. That's a lot of land. So they say it's 240,000, but obviously you see it's much more than that. Michael Larson, Cascade's business manager, is responsible for continuing to grow the Gates fortune and balancing the desire for profits with an emphasis on sustainability. There's that word again, that Agenda 21 and Klaus Schwab, Great Reset, all these guys keep using that word sustainable. You'll hear that word over and over again. The article goes on to continue to say, Larson is also keenly aware of the value of diversification, with a portfolio that is by nature heavily focused on technology, investments in farmland, and in companies like Impossible Foods, a company that makes meat from plant sources, allowing the expansion into other areas. Right. Meat. Bill, oh Bill, what are you up to, man? So the article continues, says the foundation announced that the creation of the new nonprofit Bill and Melinda Gates Agricultural Innovations, also known as the Gates AG1. The goal of the nonprofit is to provide small farmers in certain countries with the tools they need to produce more crops and adapt to climate change. So they say. Goes on to say the reason for the foundation is that it yields, on farms in sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia, are below what's achieved in the rest of the world. Okay, sure. Says we haven't seen too much from this foundation yet, but Gates has long held an interest in the ways that simple advances in farming techniques can dramatically improve the quality of life in developing regions. He's talked about it on Gates Notes, his personal blog, and on Economic Value of Farmers Raising Chickens. So he's saying that he wants to get into farming to help underdeveloped countries and regions of the world that need that assistance. Okay. Well, if that's true, then that's a good thing, right? Sure. But also what they're not talking about is also part of New World Order, Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum talking about in the future you will eat much less meat. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Y'all remember that? Well, part of this rollout is for him to kind of corner the market. And well, when it comes to plant-based meat, and different things that are genetically modified and strange, cross hybrids and all the weird stuff they're doing, at what point, where do they draw the line? And it seems like there is no line for them. They're going to continue to push forward. This guy's got almost 270,000 acres in the United States of farmland. That's crazy. Interesting, I noticed he doesn't own farmland in Texas yet. It's the word, and let everybody know what's going on. Be dangerous for someone to have this amount of power and own this much farmland. Especially somebody like Bill Gates. He's got his hands in everything. Subscribe, like, and share.